Hello and welcome back to another episode of Take Two's Raw Talks. For today's episode, we're going to be in conversation with Mr. Mahilesh Hegde. He recently a year ago, spotted a golden tiger, which is a rare species. We'll talk about that and much more real soon. He's a wildlife photographer based out of Mumbai.
I'd like to start the interview with the first question. So could you please tell
Yes.
us something about your journey and how did you enter photography and specifically why did you choose wildlife photography?
So thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to all of you in Take Two. As a kid, I was always going to my village where I used to observe birds in the backyard there. I used to climb the roof of our ancestral home and I used to watch birds there. Later, when I was, I think, in the 10th grade, I picked up my dad's digicam, and using the digicam, I went around like the city looking for butterflies, taking pictures of them. And as I went to my college, that was my first year in mass media. I have done mass media from St. Xavier's, Mumbai. I got much more interested in photography and filmmaking. And my dad bought me a DSLR, my first DSLR camera. And thanks to him, I went to Sundarbans National Park, which is in West Bengal. That was my first wildlife trip. But when I went there, I realized that everything is completely different in the Sundarbans. I had never imagined the sun would set at 4:35 in the evening and it will be pitch dark. And I went to see tigers there. But when I saw the mangroves of Sundarbans, I was amazed, completely amazed. I did not know that such a thing existed. We were only going in small boats that went into the small creeks and canals of the Sundarbans, and we were looking for wildlife there. I did not see the tiger, but I saw a lot of deer. I saw monkeys there, and I saw crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, and I saw a lot of kingfishers. They were all colorful birds, and I got interested in bird watching. So when I came back to Mumbai, I got to know that I had always lived in a cocoon in the city, and going out to Sundarbans, I realized that everything is quite different in the village or every part of India. So I wanted to explore and learn more, and that's how my journey into wildlife photography started.
So sir, coming to the next question, how do you always go about some of your greatest achievements or some lifetime memories that you have regarding your work?
Wildlife is my passion, and it started with photography, but as I have moved ahead in the journey, I have understood that it is not just about taking pretty pictures. You have to take pictures which will have a mark on the society or the viewer. So you have to understand that it is not just about the pretty picture. It is about taking pictures which will tell a story, not just about the species, but also about the habitat it is from, or about the entire ecosystem, or the conservation challenges that we face today. So that's what I have realized. And now my work is not species focused. It is about telling a different story, or telling stories which people don't know about, or telling conservation stories from India, or highlighting problems which wildlife in general faces. So a photographer or a wildlife photographer would want to like make a name for himself and give images to competitions and win some awards. Even I have been part of that, and I have submitted images to a lot of competitions, and my images have been featured by Sanctuary Asia, which is the leading wildlife magazine, Nature in Focus also, which is a nature and wildlife platform. I have won the Mayor's Trophy for wildlife photography, which is a yearly competition. I have won that award, and I have also won the prestigious Raju Harkare Memorial Award recently for one of the photographs. And there are many more. I don't know. I don't remember everything, but yes. So these are some of the awards that I have won.
So the third question, is about Sir Goldie, the golden tiger that you have recently captured the picture of. So, sir,
Yes.
how long have you been waiting to discover Goldie? So, was that a long span, or you already knew about it and you were just waiting? You were very eager to just capture the picture.
No. So I never imagined I would actually witness such a sighting in my lifetime. It is one of the most memorable sightings for me. And this sighting is actually due to luck, or I would say a matter of accident. Earlier, I used to work in Mumbai as a filmmaker and a person in the advertising field. I had a production house with one of my friends, but wildlife was always my passion. So I wanted to work in the field of wildlife, move towards that. So I left Mumbai and I went to Assam, where I started working in a cruise, the MV Mahabahu, which sails on the Brahmaputra River. It is a tourist cruise where a lot of tourists come and they explore Assam for 7 days. So 7 days we go from Guwahati to Jorhat, and from Jorhat to Guwahati we come back down 7 days. These are different trips. So in between that, the main highlight for the trip is going to Kaziranga National Park. And I chose this job as a naturalist because I wanted to explore Kaziranga. So a naturalist is a person who explains people who come to the ship or any other destination about the wildlife and the nature that is there in the area. He's like a bridge between the tourists, the people, and nature. He tries to blend them together, and also he knows about the species that are there in the area. So I was working as a naturalist there on the Brahmaputra, and we used to go to Kaziranga every week. But for a year, I have been working there since 2 years. So last year, that is 2018, I did not see any tiger there, because seeing a tiger in Kaziranga is very, very difficult. It is a matter of luck. That is a very difficult terrain or a habitat, because the grass that grows there, it grows very tall. It is known as elephant grass. If an elephant goes inside this grass, he or she will vanish in a matter of seconds. So seeing a tiger is a very big thing in Kaziranga. I did not see it for a year. And later, we were doing a boat safari wherein we are passing close to Kaziranga on the Brahmaputra River. So Kaziranga is set on the banks of the Brahmaputra, and we take our small speedboat and we go along the banks. And as we were going one day, I saw something through my binoculars. First, I thought it was a deer because the color was orangish. I did not figure out it was a tiger, but then I looked closely and I was like, no, it is a tiger. I shouted, it is a tiger. And everyone was surprised, and we took our boat in that direction. The tiger walked on the bank and then it vanished in the grass. I had taken some of the photographs that time. I had my camera with me, so I took some photographs. And later we figured out that this tiger is not a usual tiger. It looks something different. So it has a different color. Later we tried to figure out, and next time that we were there, that was after 2 weeks. So we took our speedboat again. We saw something sitting on the bank of the river, and it was casually sitting, no movement, just looking around a little bit. And as we approached it, and we figured out it was a tiger. It was the same tiger that we had seen the 2 weeks back. And that time I got all the good pictures of the tiger. It was sitting there for quite a few minutes, like 3-4 minutes. It sat there. It looked at us. It gave us beautiful looks. It was surprised to look, even surprised to see the boat there. And but it was quite curious, so it did not move. It was not like bothered by our presence there. So the tiger looked at us. We took a lot of photos. We were also in awestruck. We did not utter a single word. And I was just clicking. We could only hear the sound of shutter. Some people were just whispering to each other. They could not believe that they were seeing a tiger there, because no one imagined to see a tiger there in that place. And then it got up and it went inside. So that was the most memorable sighting for me, and that was the sighting which lasted for a long time. Like 3-4 minutes. That is not a long time, but in Kaziranga it is. And that's the time when I got the photos of the tiger. And once I processed those photos, I saw that this is a different tiger. Then I sent the pictures to some tiger experts which I knew, and they told me that this is a Royal Bengal tiger. And later we figured out that it is not an albino, it is a golden tiger or a golden tabby tiger. So these golden tigers are known from zoos, but they are not known from the wild. There were no records actually in the wild that we know of, because I tried to search for that on the internet and from the experts as well, that if any records are there. And when I posted that picture, it was quite viral, and they told me that it is a strawberry tiger or a golden tiger, which is caused due to recessive genes or due to inbreeding, which is not a good sign. So when we got to know about the tiger, I only posted one picture because I did not want to expose the tiger at that point of time. Later, Kaziranga National Park posted a proper brief note about the tiger on their official Facebook page. They had captured the tiger on camera traps before like we knew about the existence, but they had kept it under wraps. They did not want to reveal the information anywhere. But once they saw the photograph which was circulating, they also posted, and they revealed the information that it is a tiger which has a different coloration, and that is caused due to inbreeding. When I got to know about that, I was quite sad, because I did not imagine that that would be the case of the tiger. Because of inbreeding, such a phenomenon has been caused in nature. So it was a genetic anomaly, I would say. Later, one Mr. Praveen Kaswan, IFS, he had messaged me after looking at the picture, and he was the one who shared it on his Twitter feed, and he has a lot of followers there. So because of that, a lot of news people, media took it up, and they just posted it everywhere that only golden tiger in India, and like only sighting of the golden tiger in the century. I don't know how true that information is, but they posted it, and I just want to give a disclaimer that they did not like consult me also or anyone before like making the news. They just took the pictures from Twitter itself, and they made it a big news, and it spread like wildfire, I would say. I was quite happy that it went everywhere. It got the attention that it had to get, but the important point was that it was a genetic anomaly, and it was not a good thing. It was not a sign to be happy, and that was because of habitat destruction that this tiger had been born, because it could not, like its parents could not move out of that area, and they had to like inbreed or something, and that's why the tiger had been born. Any photographer or any wildlife photographer would like to take pretty pictures, but along with that, I also I want to take pictures which will tell a story or talk about conservation. So recently, one of my photographs of the greater adjutant storks from Guwahati, a dump yard in Guwahati, was selected for award. So in that photograph, the greater adjutant storks can be seen on a big heap of waste in a dump yard, and these storks are majestic creatures, but they are endangered. There are just around 1,200 left in the wild, in the entire world, and they can be seen predominantly on a dump yard, because that has now turned to be their habitat. They are looking for food there in a dump yard, and people don't like them because they considered them ugly, or they considered them as bad luck. But now the things are changing, because some conservationists are working towards saving that majestic stork, or saving the nesting sites of the stork. And that picture was a picture where they stood on the heap of waste, and behind that was a digger, JCB or digger, which was taking out the waste from there. So that was like an island on which they were standing, and the island was also being taken away from them. So that picture also was given some awards, but main purpose of that photograph was to spread awareness about the species, that this species requires attention. Conservation needs to happen for that species. And it is not just about one species, it is about the environment, it is about the habitats. We have a huge biodiversity, we have an amazing ecosystem in our country. Different ecosystems exist. We have 4 biodiversity hotspots here, and all these different habitats are home to unique species of their own. The main thing is that these habitats are now in danger. We have a lot of projects right now which are happening. That is the Dibang Valley Dam project, which is in Arunachal Pradesh, or we have the Hubli Ankula Railway in the Western Ghats. We have mining which is going on in Maharashtra. We know about the Aare forest which was cut overnight. It is time that we question ourselves and see where we are heading. Because is this development at the cost of nature, like taking away the home of animals? Because they also have the same rights like we have. They also have the right to live on this planet. This is their home. So we cannot take away their home. So I think it is not just about taking good pictures of wildlife and showcasing them. I think you also have to think that, are you doing something for conservation? Are you trying to make content or make films which will make people aware about what is happening in the country, or how nature is important for us to live, to exist? We are facing a pandemic like Corona. Like, the cause of that is wildlife trade. Somewhere it is wildlife trade. So we have to question ourselves and we have to change. That's what I feel. That's what my pictures also, or my films that I'm trying to make, want to say.
Regarding, so you said about a film, you're also recently promoting your film called Gehun Ki Awaaz. Can our audience know about the background behind that picture? We'll definitely be linking it in our video as well.
Yes. So recently we released a documentary called Yeur, the Green Lungs of Thane. And that documentary talks about Yeur. Yeur is a range of Sanjay Gandhi National Park, situated in the Thane part of the suburban area of Mumbai. So Yeur is the forest which is like the green lungs of Thane. That's the forest which provides clean air, or the environment that we have. It counters the pollution, and that is all because of Yeur. It is a small hill, but that small hill is very important for Thane. And from through that film, we have actually highlighted the problems, the issues that Yeur faces. So from outside, Yeur will look like, oh wow, what a natural wonder, or a beautiful green area. People will go there just to enjoy nature. But if you go inside there, you will find that it is a hub for alcoholism, for parties, where people come and just drink and then throw their bottles everywhere, break the glasses, which hurt the local people, because they would not use shoes, or sometimes they would just walk bare feet. So they hurt those people. Then you will see waste everywhere lying around. The party goers also play loud music which disturbs the nature. Along with that, there are a lot of illegal bungalows and farmhouses there, which are owned by big people, politicians, who have just taken the land from the Adivasis by, I would say, fooling them and giving them a very small amount for the land. And they have made their bungalows and farmhouses where they have swimming pools, and they waste water there. They have loud parties there on New Year's or any other day. They would have these parties which disturb the local and also the wildlife that is there. Yeur is known for leopards. We all know about the leopards which are seen in Mumbai. People have seen that on BBC and Nat Geo documentaries as well. We have a stable population of more than 40 leopards here. And Yeur is one of the home for this leopard. But the leopard also faces so many threats because of the habitat destruction. I think last year we had a news where the leopard had come to a mall in Thane, which is a very famous mall, the Coram Mall, and it had entered that mall. So you have to realize that you are encroaching on the forest land, taking away their habitat, and then you will complain that the leopard or a wild animal is entering your home. So you have to know that somewhere that you are at fault. They are not entering your home. You have entered their home. So we have highlighted all these issues that Yeur has in the documentary, and also we have shown what kind of work have we done in that place. So when we realized all this was happening in Yeur, that was 5 years back, we started this NGO, or a group of NGOs came together, and this society was formed called the Yeur Environmental Society. And through that, we started programs like logging. We cleaned the entire forest, the core area of the forest. We took out tons of waste, plastic, bottles. We stopped the parties there, the alcohol parties that were happening. And we tried to get the level of music and all that was happening there. We did tree plantation drives. We did programs with schools there, like some competitions for the Adivasis. We made them aware about their environment. Just Sunday was the day of Gatari. So Gatari is the day just before the month of Shravan according to the Hindu calendar. And that day people will eat non-veg, and they will also have alcohol parties. They will go to Yeur and do all these in the forest area. And we stopped that. From the second year, we started this program called Green Gatari, in which we stopped alcoholism and eating meat in the forest. Instead that, we promoted tree plantation, we promoted green activities like nature trails, photography exhibition was done. So all this was done to promote the green part of Yeur. So the good part of Yeur was promoted through this. And that documentary talks about the journey and also the issues that Yeur faces. That is to make people aware that Yeur also has so many problems. And later, like, we have seen what has happened to Aarey. Now a metro car shed is coming inside the national park in Aarey. But that can also happen in Yeur. So before that, we wanted to just put out story of that forest, the story of the people there. So through that documentary, we have put that message across. And also we have made a rap song, because now the youth will identify with something which is their culture. And I think the city of Mumbai, or even for India for that matter, identifies with street slang and rap. And through that rap song, we have highlighted all the problems of Yeur. So that is not just me, it is a big team effort that is directed by my friend Aditya Salekar. I have been part of the documentary. So that's what was the project recently that I've completed.
Sir, being a wildlife photographer, you must have spent a lot of time in some unusual or some dangerous situations. So how did you cope up with those kind of situations?
So wildlife photography is adventure, and I love the adventure part of that. But you also have to understand that when you go to the forest, you are a foreigner, or you are a foreign object for that forest. So if you have an animal in front of you, like consider you have a tiger in front of you, if you stay calm, if you just like do your work, you are taking photos, just take photos, don't talk, be patient, observe the behavior of the animal and let it do what it is doing, and just guess or gauge the behavior of the animal, what it is trying to do. Is it disturbed, or it is very calm, composed? So once you understand that, you will not face any problem in the forest. So I have been in situations where tigers have been just like 5 to 6 feet away. I was sitting in a jeep, but it was sitting outside, and that was not that we took the jeep in front of the tiger, but the tiger came there, looked at us, sat in front of us, just like chilling, I would say, sitting there and chilling in front of us. We respected that we are in the tiger's territory, and the tiger was quite happy. It was just sitting there, and we could observe it for a long time. And that has happened not just with the tiger, with rhinos as well. So the rhinos are known sometimes to charge at you. It is, I would say, yeah, they do charge, but they charge because they cannot perceive a threat, because their vision is low. So they would not know what is there in front of them. And if they feel they are in danger, if you go too close to the animal, then yes, definitely the animal is going to charge at you. But if the rhino is calm, composed, it is not bothered by your presence, it will just come and walk beside you, graze around you, and then walk away. But there have been cases where I've seen that a rhino will come charging, but yes, definitely they will understand that okay, you are not a threat, they will move aside. That has happened. Those are some of the exciting situations. Also, elephants are considered one of the most intelligent animals, and they are gentle giants, I would say, but they can be dangerous sometimes. So there have been situations where we have seen a lot of elephants crossing, and usually the males which have been separated from the herd can be dangerous because they can get into heat or mushed. That's what we call it. So they can be dangerous sometimes, but uh, they will just come stare at you. If you give enough time, they will walk away. They will just sense everything. They can sense they have a sense that is this a dangerous situation or is it going to harm them. They will understand that and then they will move along. So these are some of the situations that I have been. But I feel that the most dangerous animal on this planet is the human being. It is not any wild animal. They are actually much more scared of us than we are scared of them. And when you go to a jungle or when you have any situation where you are faced with looking at a wild animal or you encounter a wild animal, you just give them time or don't do actions which will instigate them, like throwing stones at them, shouting. You should not do that. And I think you can come out of the situation much more easily or safely from that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really fun having you here. And we had a fun time actually understanding everything about nature. There is so much that we still do not know. All of us pretend to go on trails and we go for a trail somewhere in a national park and feel so great about ourselves, taking pictures of nature around us, but we never really focus on the story. So I think this inspires us definitely to focus more on the story and understand everything that is behind what we see. This was a very, very fun session, sir. Thank you so much for interviewing with us.
So thank you for having me here, and thank you for considering me as a person who can talk about nature or tell a story to you. What I would like to tell you guys, that if you are interested in nature, do go out, do go on these trails. Even going on these trails, you can observe a lot of things. Just look at the plants, just look at the insects that are around you. Even they are very interesting. So once you see these insects, butterflies, and as you get an understanding of nature, you will develop an interest and you will be drawn to nature. What you understand is what you would protect. So I would urge each one of you, just go out and explore nature. It can be your backyard also. You don't have to go to a national park to observe wild animals. It can be in your backyard. You can observe birds in your backyard. Even in our city, we have some amazing birds. Just observe them and learn from them. And once you understand that, then you will understand that it is very essential to protect nature. And then you will start loving that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
sir.
the message
Thank you, sir.
to all of us.